Hello, 1C. I've really been thinking about you, and I decided this might be a good day for a story. I hope that everybody had a really happy Easter and that you are enjoying this great sunshine today. So, I wanted to read this story to you. It's one of my favorites and it is really funny. And I thought we could talk about some story elements as part of our reading. So, the first thing I want you to see is the title, Imogene's Antlers. So, boys and girls, the first thing I saw was the apostrophe S. Do you see that too? Do you remember what that means? Did you say that the antlers belong to Imogene? Well, then you are right. Boys and girls, we know that when we see an apostrophe S, it means that someone owns something. And so in this case, it's Imogene who has some antlers. So before we get any further, I want you to think about it. Would this be reality or a fantasy? If a little girl has antlers, what do you think? Did you say fantasy? I think so too. I think so too. So as we read, or as I read to you, I want you to think about the characters and author's purpose. So boys and girls, Imogene's Antlers by David Small is also an AR book. So if AR and ClassLink are working for you, you might want to watch this video 2 times and maybe you could try an AR test on Imogene's Antlers. Okay, so let's get started. On Thursday, when Imogene woke up, she found she had grown antlers. Look at that. Do you think her room might be a mess? What do you think? I think she likes to play with toys, doesn't she? Uh-oh, getting dressed was difficult. And going through a door now took some thinking. Oh my goodness, look at that. I don't know what she's going to do. Do you think maybe she might turn sideways? She might even have to bend down a little bit. Let's see. Oh, this is funny. Imogene started down for breakfast. Look at that. Look at that. Do you maybe see that Imogene has a pet? I do too. I do too. Oh no, but Imogene got hung up. Oh, and Imogene's mother fainted away. Oh my goodness, I think she's very shocked. She had not seen Imogene yet. The doctor poked and prodded and scratched his chin. He could find nothing wrong. The school principal glared at Imogene, but had no advice to offer. Oh no, so he's glaring at her. He doesn't look very friendly, does he? Oh no. Oh no. And the doctor says she's fine. Her brother Norman consulted the encyclopedia and then announced that Imogene had turned into a rare form of miniature elk. Imogene's mother fainted again and was carried upstairs to bed. So Norman has done some research. He used an encyclopedia and he found out that she is a miniature elk. I wonder if you know what miniature means. Do you think it might mean small or mini? Have you ever heard that? Mini? I bet you have. Imogene went into the kitchen. Lucy, the kitchen maid, had her sit by the oven to dry some towels. Lovely antlers, said Lucy. The cook, Mrs. Perkins, gave Imogene a donut, then decked her out with several more and sent her into the garden to feed the birds. I think that the birds are gonna love Imogene. I think they're gonna love it. That's gonna be a nice treat for them. You'll be lots of fun to decorate come Christmas, said Mrs. Perkins. Oh, yeah, we were right. The birds love Imogene. Onesie, we like donuts too, don't we? We really do. It's always a good treat. Later, Imogene wandered upstairs. She found the whole family in Mother's bedroom. Donuts, anyone? She asked. Her mother said, Imogene, we have decided there is only one thing to do. We must hide your antlers under a hat. Norman telephoned the milliner. Now, who do you think the milliner might be? If Mother says we need to hide your antlers under a hat, I wonder who the milliner might be. Well, let's see. Ooh, at 3 o'clock the milliner arrived. Rapidly, he sketched a few designs, and then he set to work. Voila, said the milliner. Bravo, cried his assistant. Thud. Imogene's mother had to be carried away once more. So, who do you think the milliner is? Do you think he is a hat maker? What do you think of that hat? It's awfully big, but I guess it had to be to cover big antlers. After dinner, Imogene practiced her piano lessons. Then, yawning, she folded her music, kissed the family, and went to bed. Oh my goodness, wait until you see her antlers. She is practicing her piano by candlelight. Look at that. I bet she's a really beautiful piano player. Imogene sighed, remembering the long, eventful day. Okay, so she's going to sleep. She's had a big day. I wonder if this is going to be the end of the story. Oh, on Friday, when Imogene woke up, the antlers had disappeared. When she came down to breakfast, the family was overjoyed to see her back to normal. Look at that. No antlers on Friday. Ooh, Mother sure looks relieved, doesn't she? She looks really happy. I wonder if this is the end. Uh-oh. Wait until you see this. Until Imogene came into the room. Now, are you guessing maybe what happened? Wait until you see this. What do you think of that? Beautiful peacock feathers. Now, what do you think? What's better, antlers or peacock feathers? I think they all might have some problems, right? So as we were reading, were you thinking about author's purpose? I was. Now, I don't know about you, but I thought that the story was pretty funny and it made me laugh. So, we know that authors sometimes write stories to teach us things. They try to inform us by teaching things. Sometimes they write a story to entertain us and make us laugh. And then sometimes authors write a story to persuade us. Try to talk us into something or maybe like something. So thinking about all that, what do you think, Wincy? What was author's purpose? Did you say entertain? I knew it. I knew you would know that. Yes, it is to entertain us because Imogene had a really funny adventure with antlers. So we saw lots of characters, whether they were pets or family. Do you remember the character that was glaring at Imogene? Who was it? It was the principal. That's right. He was kind of stern looking, wasn't he? Definitely Imogene was our main character. The story was mostly about her. I liked Norman. He was so cute, and I loved it when he researched and found out that she had turned into a rare form of miniature elk. That was pretty funny. So, Mother and Father were characters. I think we learned something new. We learned a new word about hat maker being called a milliner, so that's pretty fancy, and he was a pretty fancy hat maker, wasn't he? So those were definitely our characters, and I loved reading about Imogene, and I hope you did too. If you have time in your journal and you're just looking for a fun story to write, it might be fun to say what happens next to Imogene as she has peacock feathers. Maybe you could tell me some problems that come along with having peacock feathers. I can think of a few, and maybe you can too. So, Onesie, I hope you're doing great. I know that you're doing some excellent work. I want you to keep it up. If you want to take an AR test, maybe listen to this one more time so that you can get all that good information. If you're not having access to AR, that's okay. That's okay. You can write a story in your journal about Imogene and her peacock feathers. Now look at this. I'm going to show you this again so you can see how to spell Imogene's name. She spells it a little funny, doesn't she? But we have that G and E together that are making the J sound. And I know you know about that. Well, Onesie, thank you for listening to my story. I miss you all, and I hope you're doing well. Thank you for all the great work you're doing. So here's a big hug from me. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.